Kyle Hamilton just gave us the reason why the Ravens have been abysmal in pass defense through 3 games. But before I get into all of that, welcome to Vlog Talk, your home for all things Baltimore Ravens football. If you're a Ravens fan and you're new to this channel, hit like, subscribe. We're trying to hit 2,000 subscribers by the end of the season, and each and every one of you make a huge difference, so I appreciate all of you watching and supporting this channel as we try to grow it. A week ago, Kyle Hamilton was asked about their problems in stopping the pass, and here is what he had to say. I don't think we get caught up too much in numbers, but I think we're knocking the run out so much that teams kind of abandon it. And that skews the passing numbers a little bit because once you can't run the ball, you have to pass it or punt it. Look, that makes a lot of sense, and there's probably some truth to that. On average, the Ravens are giving up 50 rush yards a game. Now, I'll give you that they have not played a dominant rushing team up to this point, but the Chiefs are pretty decent with Isaiah Pacheco, but I wouldn't necessarily consider them an elite rushing team. So that could also contribute, but that's not taking away from the Ravens. Their front 7 have done a tremendous job at stopping the run. That is absolutely true. That makes sense, except you have teams like the Steelers, who are second in rushing defense, but are 5th in passing defense, who give up less than 160 passing yards a game. So that makes sense from Kyle Hamilton. However, that's not really a good reason to be last in passing defense. Like, it would be one thing if you were maybe middle of the pack, maybe 13, 14, 15, somewhere in that bubble, because the volume of passes coming your way was significantly higher because teams couldn't run the ball. I could buy that 100%. But when you go from first in rushing defense to dead last in the NFL in passing defense, that is way more than just, well, teams can't run it, so they're passing it. Otherwise, the Steelers would probably rank 31st in pass defense. It just doesn't make sense. But you know who is faring better than the Ravens on defense, and that is the Seahawks, who have the second best defense in total yards, the best passing defense, and 4th in points per game. But I'll just leave that right there. Even though the Ravens have been absolutely abysmal through 3 games against the pass, ranking dead last in the NFL, giving up almost 300 passing yards per game, which is completely unacceptable and not up to the standard of a Ravens defense, considering they brought back the core of last year's elite, dominant defense. I know they lost a few pieces, but there's really no excuse for that level of drop-off. You keep hearing the word communication issues thrown around with this defense, and I've said going into the year, even after the first game, that I thought they would return to an elite level after 4 or 5 games. This is kind of the time that I was expecting them to start really forming into shape. Arthur Millette sounds like he could be returning in hopefully the next couple of weeks. Ideally, that would be another huge piece back, but this defense has to start stepping up. We can only blame the communication issues for so long until you just need to get it fixed. You've played 3 games up to this point. You're going into your 4th week against a really good team and a really good quarterback. The Ravens need to step up, and their secondary has to play their best game of the season, or they're going to lose this game and fall to 1-3, which nobody wants to see from the Ravens side. So I want to know what you guys think of Kyle Hamilton's comments. Do you agree with it? Do you disagree with what I'm saying here? Or do you see it another way? Let me know in the comments below. I appreciate each and every one of you that tune into these videos. It really helps support and grow the channel. Like I said, we're trying to hit 2,000 subscribers by the end of the season. So if you could hit that subscribe button and like the video and leave a comment, I love good conversation with you guys. I would genuinely appreciate it. And I will see you all in the next video. Go Ravens!